We humans sure have a long-standing relationship with other living things. From friendly Labradors to mysterious kraken, we've been attempting to make friends since the dawn of time. No surprise our ancestors managed to become the rulers of this world. It can be hard to keep track of all the facts and fables surrounding animals, but don't worry. If you've ever been fooled by a widely believed but scientifically inaccurate animal myth, you're not alone. Here are 10 common misconceptions that have been debunked by experts. Number 1. Bulls get fired up at the sight of red. Bulls can't actually see red. It's a myth. It's the quick movements of the matador that provokes them. So if you ever find yourself in a bull ring, remember to keep your dance moves on the slow tempo. Bulls are the kind of animals that wouldn't be able to pick a favorite color in a crayon box. They're totally colorblind. So if you ever wondered why bulls charge at anything that is red, science now confirms it is not because of the color. Number 2. Wasps. Give them space and they'll return the favor. Furry bumblebees are usually docile and don't go around stinging people, but there are exceptions like wasps and yellow jackets that could ruin your day. So be extra cautious if you ever get close to their nest and watch out for any accidental injuries that could antagonize them, or you could be in for a rather painful surprise. Number 3. Camels have their own little water coolers tucked away in their humps. The hump on a camel's back is like having snacks stored in your pocket. You can take them with you wherever you go. Instead of being filled with water, camels' humps are packed with fat, which helps them survive in the desert for days without needing food. Ever wondered why camels have those humps? Here's the answer. These humps are actually huge food reserves. Each camel can store up to 80 pounds of fat for their meals when food or water supplies are running low. Plus, their body structures help conserve as much water as possible. Number 4. Rhinos stamp out fires. People have believed for centuries that rhinos were drawn to the magical power of campfires. According to their tales, these majestic animals would rush over and devour the flames. Sadly, all of these incredible stories were just myths with no actual proof, or so the Europeans thought after returning from Asia. We may know a lot about rhinos, but apparently not enough. People have been mixing up the Asian and African species of rhinos, 5 in each continent, for years, leading to funny myths like fire-breathing Asian rhinos and other movie cliches of African ones that trampled on fire. Number 5. Head lice have a preference for clean or dirty hair. Contrary to popular belief, head lice don't discriminate between greasy and clean hair. It has nothing to do with the ease of movement either, as this misconception was debunked later on. So no matter when you last showered, these common lice still like your hair. Number 6. Sharks have a remarkable ability to sense even the slightest amount of blood from incredible distances away. Sharks are famous for their excellent sense of smell. In fact, their nostrils are like superpowered detectors that can sniff out even the tiniest hint of something. Unlike birds, who seem to have a nose for trouble. Sharks have an incredible sense of smell, so much so that some people claim they can detect a single drop of blood from miles away. Kinda like trying to add a pinch of salt to an entire bag of chips. Luckily though, scientists have debunked this theory, so no need to worry. Well, it looks like we can't believe everything the movies tell us. Sharks' noses are only good for sniffing up to several hundred yards away, which is like finding a needle in a haystack. Impressive, but not quite as impressive as we were expecting. Number 7. Mother birds will completely abandon their babies if they've been touched by humans. Sure, it's tempting and looks like a good deed to help the little bird if you find it on the ground. But don't. The story of returning birds to their nests was only invented to keep humans from interference. Chances are, the baby bird is just learning how to fly. Most birds have a rather weak sense of smell, so don't bother trying to attract them with your cologne. All that said, vultures are the one species who do have an impressive sniffer. They use it to track down their next meal. But really, even if you could make yourself smell like a delicious dead animal, you probably shouldn't get too close to a vulture. Number 8. Wolf packs have an alpha leader. Many people believe that a single alpha wolf leads a wolf pack, but this is actually false. This idea probably stems from the behavior of wolves in captivity. In the wild, though, wolves usually just stick together with their relatives, which reduces conflict and therefore doesn't require an alpha. In the family, it's not all about who's the oldest, even animals know that. Parental power is still the name of the game in animal families, and it isn't too much different with human ones. Number 9. Blind as a bat. Don't be fooled by their crazy aerial stunts. Bats can totally see, just not quite as bright or vivid as most mammals. They compensate for this with incredible night vision and sound sensitivity, plus a built-in biological sonar system. With their incredible superpowers, these creatures can find food like a pro and dodge obstacles like a ninja. Bats are kings of the night sky, using a combination of vision and echolocation to make their way around. They can even go one step further and detect ultraviolet light, something us humans can only dream of. All this helps them to find flowers blooming in the darkness, which they can then pollinate. Talk about multitasking. Flying foxes, the largest of all bats, don't need to use echolocation since they are blessed with amazing vision, both during the day and at night, plus an extraordinary sense of smell, enough to find fruit. Number 10. Humans only use 10% of their brain. The myth of humans using only 10% of their brain is like the myth that your phone is only charged up to 90%. Sure, you can use more, but why bother? Despite being debunked multiple times, this myth remains prevalent to this day. But don't worry, there's no need to feel bad about not reaching your full brain potential. We actually use all of our brains during the normal course of a day. Brain activity is like a disco party. It's always changing and never boring. Different regions are more or less active at any given time, however, none of the sections remain non-functional. The brain also takes care of all your automatic processes without you lifting a finger, like your heart rate, blinking, and breathing. Who knew that your brain is up to so much even when you're sleeping? Turns out it's busy performing a myriad of functions, such as controlling your senses, motor movement, thinking critically, and remembering things. Whoa, quite the night shift. Have you ever wondered what would happen if 90% of our brain was used? Well, brain injuries would not be nearly as serious as they are now. But let's face it, even the slightest damage to our brains can lead to some pretty detrimental and lasting effects. Our mission to uncover the truth about animals is just beginning, so make sure you stay with us to get insights into their behavior. We can't wait to share more with you. It's going to be a roaring adventure. Get ready for an amazing time as we explore the world of creepy crawlies, slimy and slithery animals, and some fascinating superstitions. Be sure to subscribe to us and explore our amazing selection of content. Plus, remember not to just take everything at face value. Sometimes it can be a false belief or misconception.